In this video, we're going to talk about some of the ways that Spotify sucks for music artists. I spend a lot of time in this channel talking about how you can promote your Spotify, get more people to listen to your music on Spotify. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about the good things about Spotify before we talk about the bad. So the biggest good thing about Spotify is that it has by far the biggest streaming market share. Most people consume music via streaming nowadays. It's just a fact. And Spotify is the dominant player right now. I think they have over 30% of the streaming market share. I'll put a screenshot on screen. And the second reason is they have a really good discovery platform. They have a lot of different editorial playlists. Yes, those are hard to get into, but they also have a lot of algorithmic playlists that you don't have to be any particular size or anything to get on them. Some of them you're on guaranteed, and other ones, once your songs start getting data and performing, Spotify will start playing your stuff around. And then they have radio and all these user playlists, all this stuff. So it's really good for discovery to help new people find your music and listen to it for free because, right, they're already paying for Spotify or they're on the Spotify free tier. Now, the third reason why Spotify is great for artists is they have really good analytics. So Spotify for Artists is the platform where you can go and see all the data on how your songs are streaming, the listeners, the saves, the playlist ads, the followers, all the different playlists you're on and how much streams you're getting from them. And they have the best out of any other streaming platform. The market, it's better than Apple Music for Artists. It's better than Amazon Music for Artists. And Deezer still has yet to add me to their Deezer for Artists platform. But they have the best analytics out of every music streaming software. So now let's go into the ways that Spotify sucks. So number one, and this one might be kind of obvious, which is why I'm doing it first, is the pay. So Spotify isn't the worst paying streaming platform out there, but they're definitely not the best. On average, it pays between 0.3 cents to 0.5 cents per stream, depending on the countries and a few other factors, how many times the person's listened to the song, etc. Sometimes streams can pay less, sometimes they can pay more, but that's kind of the average range I've seen, 0.3 to 0.5, 0.6 cents. Usually it averages out to 0.35 to 0.45 cents per stream. So that's pretty low. And on Apple Music, they average a little closer to a penny, usually it's a little less, but it's a lot closer to a penny. And platforms like Tidal and Napster even pay significantly more. And this isn't a problem that can be solved just by Spotify paying out more money. They already pay out like 70+% of all the money they take in to artists already. And then they obviously have marketing, and then they have to pay all their engineers, their salespeople, their management teams, etc. And so you can't just solve the problem just by have them pay more, right? The only way they can really do it, in my opinion, is by raising prices either across the board or by adding different tiers to their plan where they can bring more money in, and then artists will be able to be paid more. If every person that uses Spotify pays more, there's more money to go around overall for artists and perhaps even podcasters as well. And a lot of people will cry out, Daniel X, a billionaire, why don't we just give out all his money, right? And the problem is that even if you get his entire net worth, which is not his yearly salary, if you get his entire net worth, divided it up by every artist on Spotify, and paid it out to artists, every artist will only get $5 a month for 5 years. Extra, and that would be the entirety of Daniel X's worth spent on artists on Spotify. So you can't just solve the problem by that. We have to raise prices, and honestly, I think the only way this is going to happen is with government intervention. And I kind of hate to say it because I don't really like it when the government comes in and tells a bunch of companies what they have to do with how they're charging for products. I don't like that at all. But I think when it comes to the music industry, I think if Spotify just increases their prices, Apple Music and Amazon aren't, and then everyone's going to flock over there and Spotify will just go out of business. Because for Apple and Amazon, they have a ton of other businesses. They don't need to make money on music streaming. So I think the government might have to step in some way, team up with a bunch of other people in the music industry and figure out what's a fair streaming rate. And then everyone across the board will have to raise prices so that way it's not unfair to expect one company to do it and then go out of business. The second way that Spotify sucks is that there's no real way to communicate with your audience. There's no way for you to post on your Spotify aside from putting music on there. You can add a few images and you can add a bio, but you can't link to your website. There's no way for people to sign up to your mailing list. They recently added a way for you to link 3 products from your Shopify store at the bottom of your profile, which is a step in the right direction. I have a video on that here if you want to know how to set that up, but it's not enough. In my opinion, what would be really cool, again, I don't work at Spotify, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff behind this. In my opinion, it would be incredibly cool if there was a social media-like element on Spotify. There's a ton of users on Spotify, so they have the amount of people there where they could make a social media platform. Imagine if every Spotify artist had a feed, kind of like an Instagram feed, on another tab on their profile. So you're on their thing, you go, there's like a little button, you press it, and then you're on their Spotify social media feed. And on that place, the artist can have just like Instagram, pictures and video content linked there. They can maybe have stories. They could have a link in bio so that an artist can actually link to their website or to different things they're doing online or to a ticketing link. You can link shows on Spotify already, but it'd be cool if we can just link anywhere from Spotify, not just Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter or Wikipedia. And I think a social media element would be really cool because that solves two problems with one thing, right? You get less artists be able to link off platform a little bit better so they can get their fans to do stuff, and then also it gives a way for them to actually communicate with their fans and give them cool, unique content. And another thing that I think would be really cool is if when you're following an artist, if there was a way with a little, like, let's say notification bell, just like on YouTube. Do you want to be notified with a notification when this artist drops a song? Click this button. It would also be cool if there was a button there too, share your email address with this artist so you could get fans to sign up directly for artist mailing lists from Spotify. And then the artist could hook up on Spotify for artists, link it to their MailChimp, their Drip, their whatever email service they're using, and have a better way to communicate with their fans. The third way that Spotify sucks is that they should focus more on charging listeners more money and not on ways for charging artists more money. For example, they have Marquee, and Marquee performs really great. I have a video that you can check out right here to see some examples of me using Marquee. Problem is, I think some of this, that functionality should just be built into Spotify. Earlier I talked about the little notification bell example. That's essentially Marquee, right? You open up the app, you get notified, but you choose what you want to get notified for, and that would be kind of a free version of it. Now, I'm not saying they should get rid of Marquee entirely and go all the way to this free notification system, but perhaps if there was a way to also pay to promote, but it was a little more affordable. Like 50 cents per click isn't too unreasonable, but it's not great. And it seems like they're just they figured out like what is the highest amount we could charge before people complain, and that's what they're charging. So I think they should focus more on listener monetization methods. And on another thing on the artist side, in 2020 they came out with something called discovery mode, where an artist could say, I'm willing to get paid less in this song on Spotify if you put it on more playlists. And they've been testing this for the past 2 years. And I don't think they should be having artists allow themselves to get paid less so they can get more discovery. Spotify should just do it, right? And obviously they can't have everyone do it, but like they should find more ways to get people to consume more music and not really like have artists opt to get paid less for more discovery. That's stupid. So I think they should focus more on listener monetization methods. And so I've thought of a cool things that I think are really cool. I think one, first of all, I've talked about this earlier, but unlimited music to access the world's library of sound for $9.99 a month is just kind of crazy cheap, right? Like, I think if every company charged $20, $30 a month for it, what are you going to do? Not like go back to music downloads and illegally downloaded music? Like, probably not. You're still probably going to be streaming, but it makes the value of music more realistic to it's still cheaper than what it used to be to go out and buy CDs back in the day, right? Like, I remember spending hundreds of dollars a year buying CDs before streaming was like super popular. So paying $30 a month, $20 a month, I think most people would do it. They're not going to go back to downloads as much, but it also makes the CD option kind of a possibility again. But when it comes to the ways they could charge listeners more, they could offer, again, this would be optional, a Patreon-like membership. So just like you can have your social media feed on Spotify, you could have a Patreon-like membership where, like, hey, you want to see the behind-the-scenes stuff of this artist? They have these Patreon-like tiers. You can pay them $3 a month, $6 a month, $12 a month to access this behind-the-scenes content. Maybe you can get early access to all their Spotify tracks. Like when they upload them, they can say, like, we want to give our subscribers like 2-week early access, and it just integrates seamlessly with the songs they're already putting on Spotify. And they could do a bunch of cool things with that, and then Spotify could charge a 10, 15, 20% fee on that. So they're not charging the artist, they're just taking a commission, which is how Patreon works. I think Patreon's cut is like 10 to 15%, I might be wrong. YouTube's is like 30%. So they could do something like that, and that's a way for them to make more money and allow fans to support their artists and get some perks on return. Now, they could also allow listeners, just like Tidal, this is Tidal's pricing page, to pay for different tiers, right? So they charge $9.99 a month for their hi-fi plan, but they also have a $20 a month plan where you get even higher quality stuff, Dolby Atmos, Sony 360 reality audio, hi-fi, And then you also get direct artist payouts, fan center royalties, and track and share your listening habits impact your favorite artists. So they could offer other features in this, like they could also have maybe give people a way to customize their Spotify in a really cool way. Like they can change all the colors, they can move stuff around, and that's only available in this more premium tier. Maybe they could do other stuff to make it more enticing, but basically a way where they can charge more for features that people care about, and it doesn't really cost Spotify more. So now they're bringing more money, they can afford to pay out more money to artists. So on the note of Spotify raising prices, there was this article in Music Business Worldwide from yesterday, actually. Wow, that was good timing on my part. There's a quote from someone that works at Sony right here. Do we think that the streaming business in the mature markets can withstand pricing increases? We do. So people in the music industry, pretty high up, right? CEO of Sony Music Group, or maybe not CEO, but someone at Sony Music Group, think that streaming services should charge more. And obviously they're impacted by this too, because that impacts how much they get paid. And I think that's a good thing, that if big record companies are asking for more money, that's probably the only way it's ever going to happen. Like, unless every single indie artist in the world revolts and takes their music off a platform, which, and try, like, just think of how you could even coordinate that. There's like no way. With Sony, Warner, it's, you know, Universal, like if they pull their catalogs, that's really the only way they could ever realistically make Spotify pay out more, aside from, you know, government intervention that I talked about before. Now, the fourth way that Spotify sucks is that I think a lot of times they're focusing on the wrong things. Like I'll hear them make an announcement and they're talking about this feature and that feature, and every time it just comes back like, why can't we talk to our fans? Why can't people sign up for a mailing list? Why can't we sell products? Why can't we link people to our website? All this stuff. And like, for example, they announced they're doing all this beta testing for NFTs. NFTs are popular, but they're not nearly as popular as wanting to engage with your fans, or they're even not as popular as CDs. They're probably like, I don't know the exact numbers, but like in CDs last year sold 40 million, 41 million. Vinyl sold like 41 million just in the United States alone. NFTs are pretty damn niche. Like, I don't know anyone in my social circle that owns an NFT. And then the music industry, music NFT industry is even smaller. So they're already focusing on NFTs when it's just a tiny thing. And yes, long term, NFTs is a lot of really cool technology. It's not just about stupid pictures and stuff that like it is now. But why are they focusing on stuff like that when there's all these other giant problems? Probably because long term they can make a lot of money if they become dominant leaders in the whole music NFT space. At least it's my thought, but it's kind of a guess. So the reason why I'm being so negative in this video is I've personally been using Spotify as a listener since I was like 19 years old, and I'm like 30 now. So I've been using it for a while, paying for it myself, and I want Spotify to become a better platform because there's all these great things about Spotify with the discovery and like everyone already being on it, and the algorithms are really good with how they recommend you music and learn about your listening habits. And I want them to do better, basically. So if you want to learn about how you can promote your music on Spotify, you can check out this playlist right here. I have a ton of videos talking about that, both with Facebook ads and some strategies without Facebook ads in this video. And if you want to see whatever YouTube thinks you should watch, you can check that thing right there. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Bye.